Oh, it's coming around the back way. The drinks are moved.
Hello. This will never be a problem. So, I have a thingy. Sticky thingy. That's you. As you may guess by that image, I am a volcanologist. Don't worry, I won't blow anyone up. I made the mistake of explaining to a crowd of Americans once that I'm like a terrorist that doesn't kill people in explosions. That didn't go down very well in the US. No, it didn't. If you ever get detained at New York's JFK airport because you have explosive residue on your clothes, and you have to try and explain that, when they sit you down and ask you, are you a terrorist? Or do you work for a terrorist organisation? It's very hard not to go, no. The receptionist. But anyway, yes, I'm a volcanologist. I'm also a science communicator officially. I work for I Fucking Love Science. If you're offended by the... Ooh, that's interesting. If you're offended by the second word, you're in the wrong place. I'm an experimental volcanologist, which is not kinky, as some Star Trek fans really nichely point out. Yeah. But I'm here to talk to you about the image of volcanoes and how they are great ambassadors for science communication. I'm not a normal scientist, actually. I've never worn a lab coat. As it turns out, lava does not give a shit if you wear a lab coat or not. It will just eat you. That's kind of its whole job. Anyway, so I'm here to talk about the images. That was Etna recently. That's fucking amazing. Volcanoes are a lot of things. Everyone knows they kind of explode, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over that. Just in case you weren't sure, I asked some people, some of my younger cousins, what volcanoes are, and they said angry mountains. It's pretty nice. Yes. Earth's pimples. Slightly gross. But mainly they're massive fucking show-offs. Massive show-offs. They are the narcissists of the natural world. Absolutely narcissistic. They're also like the Jehovah's Witnesses in the natural world, because they turn up when you do not want them to. Look at this guy. I love that he's out running it and the car is not picking him up. Just running the fuck away from it. Yes, they are bastards. They were fine, by the way. But yeah, they're quite persistent. You can't play a game of hide and seek like these people try to. Require classic flow. Oh, we'll be fine here. Oh no shit, it's there. Damn it. Yeah. You don't want to outrun those. If you breathe it in, your insides will turn to glass in 2 seconds, and you'll freeze in a really embarrassing pose. It's not good. If one comes towards you, you should just stand there like this. So when archaeologists dig you out, you'll be just uncovered, flipping the bird. That's my idea. They are rule breakers. Yes, you can get blue glowing lava. It's a place in Indonesia. It's because they're burning sulphur. Now, I don't know if anyone has actually burned sulphur before, particularly flatulent among you. That means they will stink like hell. Like the worst, like the eggiest fart you can do on a sort of radiator. Awful stuff. Really bad. really bad. Yes, bottom trumpet. That's a good term. Yes, they are very smelly. They're not ones to be outdone by the animal kingdom, all right? Not just on volcanoes, because they go off all the time, unfortunately. And this is something I wrote about recently. A caterpillar uses a stack of discarded heads to fend off predators. Actually fences them away with its own, like, exoskeletal skulls. That's pretty gnarly, but volcanoes just be like, oh yeah, well, how about ancient mega tsunami reaches height of Manhattan skyscrapers? Way more impressive than a sort of death metal caterpillar. Massive show-offs, absolute massive show-offs. And obviously, the people that study them are quite mental, pretty psychopathic. Cool guys, don't look at explosions, obviously. Poser. And there are terms as well that are kind of quite weird in volcanology. Juvenile just means anything that's originally been blasted out of a volcano, the lava that's been produced. Then you've got accessory particles, which are the sort of rocky bits that have been recycled. And then there's this term, accidental. Anything that's not original lava or reworked lava products. Now, I asked a few people what that might be. Actually, volcanologists, they gave me these answers. So you have cars can be propelled out of volcanic eruptions, cameras, sandals, trees, lizards, dinosaurs, underpants, puppies, xylophones, kittens, volcanologists, entire cities, and Italians. Often Italians. Oh, and me posing on Mount Fuji like a twat. They're pretty good for displaying evidence. If anyone's murdered anyone recently, that's a lava lake. It pretty much will just get rid of anything you want. It's not like Hollywood where you just slowly dissolve and die. In fact, scientists did wonder what would happen if a body fell in a volcano, so they actually did it. That is a bit of a body jumped into a lava lake. I'm genuinely not making that up. Apart from that, it's not really a body. It's a dead pig. And they just actually wrote a paper on what would happen if a human did fall in a volcano. As it turns out, you melt, as you probably expect, just like that. But still, good if you have any evidence you want to get rid of. Just a tip there. But they do produce some amazing imagery, and they are rightfully sharp. This is an ice cave in Iceland. This one is forged out by lava just snaking through it, melting around it, and the ice is basically bulletproof and can withstand a lot of heat. So you can actually walk through these like caves made of lava. They have forged fountains of fire, very poetic. This is Stromboli in Italy, inspired Tolkien to write in Mount Doom for his Lord of the Rings books. They make their own lightning as well. Now, that's fucking amazing. If anyone does not think that is, then you are mental. It's basically like the biggest static shock you'll get. Although no one really knows how it quite forms, but it does look amazing. And this is Sakurajima in Japan, my favourite volcano. You get to see this stuff recently. You want to see the lightning just coming out of, even in the lava. Quite mental, but yes, they are sharp. They probably created life. Biologists are kind of leaning towards a point that maybe like the really basic like bacteria and archaea that live in these deep sea vents, they're living off like electrical currents and basic chemicals that come out of there. They don't need light. They do end it too. That is the cast of a person in Pompeii. Poor person obviously knew it was coming, didn't take my advice, flipping the bird of a pyroclastic flow, but yes, they give and take away, the bastards. They even make their own goddamn islands. This is in Japan. This is in 2013. That is now, and you've got this weird brainstem kind of structure, it literally is erupting out of the sea. It's essentially how Iceland formed, but there isn't even a hotspot underneath it. It's just erupting up and making its own island. If that is not showing off, I do not know what is. They even fire lava into fucking space. This is ridiculous. This is Io. This is a moon of Jupiter, which inside is being ripped apart by Jupiter, its gravitational pull, and the dance of the moons around it. That is as a massive sulfur fart. Is a gif of Io. I mean, now, Io isn't that big, but it's still a moon, and it's erupting that into space. Now, if you're not sure how high that is, that plume right there, that is the equivalent of 45 Mount Everest. That is 127 Golden Gate Bridges, 67,000 great white sharks, and 1.3 million lightsaber wielding kittens. I did work that out. Just to give a ridiculous comparison. They don't tend to like nuclear weapons either. Someone once asked me what would happen if you dropped a nuclear bomb in a volcano. It would go off. Also, the nuclear bomb would be way worse than that. But also, North Korea's nuclear test may actually be setting off a volcanic eruption in the near future. The most popular comment on that post was, "Lol, let them do it." It's not just going to affect North Korea. We'll all be doomed. But great. Also, real science. This is the science I actually do. Don't worry, I won't explain that. Basically, volcanoes involve a lot of maths and physics. And they're very complicated, so I'm just going to say science. Fuck yeah. Breaking Bad fans in the room. And I worked out the energy that volcanoes would release, and there's one called Rotomahara that went off in 1886 in New Zealand. Not that well known. It erupted 100 million billion joules of energy. That's a lot of joules. That's a lot of energy. To sum that up in a different way, it didn't actually just melt people or cover them, it sublimated them. Now that means turning into a solid to a gas immediately. So it had the same effect as a nuclear weapon. Damn. That's pretty bad. They can even knock a planet off its axis. Bloody show-offs. This one went off on Mars 3.5 billion years ago. It overloaded the planet to the point where it tipped it 20 degrees south, which means that if that happened on Earth, that's like moving Paris to the North Pole. Now that is bloody showing off. It's amazing, but it's showing off. All in all, they are bloody amazing ambassadors of science communication, because that, I think, is all about getting a powerful image to grab people, and these effervescent bastards are brilliant at doing that. And trust me, science communication needs all the help it can get. If you ever just go to Google, you find things like this. Can a dog and a cat have babies? No. Why does my pee smell of sugar puffs? It's quite a nice smell, really. If it's pee, it could be worse. And my absolute favourite Google search. What is the largest planet in the world? In the world! God damn it. So volcanoes may be sharks, but they're good at getting people's attention. And that's me. Thanks very much.
One more time.